Hello, my name is Lynn Galloway. Thank you for joining me today. And today we're going to talk about the three things that, in my opinion, make fibromyalgia worse. It can trigger your flares, and so managing those can help you to enjoy life a little more and to be able to do some of the things that you want to do. So what are those three things? Oh, by the way, I had fibromyalgia, was diagnosed 20 years ago, over 20 years ago now. And I had a journey. At one point, yes, I was in a wheelchair, but I am well and enjoying life, have been for the last 15 years. So looking after some of these three things also were ways that helped me to feel better and to have my energy back and to be able to enjoy life again. So where are those three things? Well, first of all, stress. Stress is a huge thing. And some of the stuff I read now, at one point they had no idea what was causing fibromyalgia symptoms or the syndrome, as they called it, because there isn't, I believe they still don't know what it is. Some of the research shows that it might be related to the stress hormone. So what happens when we're under stress, we get a cascade of cortisol, and that does all kinds of things. It's perfect if you are in an immediate stress situation that you need to respond to. But if you're in it all the time, that's what is bad for your body. So it shuts down certain parts of your body so that all the energy and all the adrenaline can go to a specific, so that you can move forward to whatever it is. Like if, in the old days when the fight or flight, or when you had a situation, you needed to respond to it, but our body wasn't meant to have that all the time. So managing your stress is absolutely huge. And that is one of the things that you really want to make sure that you're doing. And if you need some help with that, I do have a link down below that you can click on to. I do have 9 tips to help you to reduce your stress. That was a huge one for me. And even always making sure that I'm not pushing the cortisol level is really how I think of it as. Now, what's this? So that's managing your stress. And there's, people have stress for various reasons. And sometimes it's that you need to set boundaries. Sometimes you just need to make a lifestyle change. Sometimes it's letting go of things that you have no control over. Because sometimes we worry about, especially moms, especially women, worry about things that in reality we have no control over. So letting go of those kind of things. And you have no control over how other people act. So letting them be responsible for their own actions and not worrying so much about it, because that's a big trigger, I think, for a lot of women, especially if you have children. Chemicals are a big one. Now, that was one of the things for me, was that I had a high level of heavy metals, specifically mercury in my body. And so I did a detox for that. So if that's something you possibly, if you got a lot of fillings in your mouth, as you grind your teeth, I grind my teeth when I'm under stress. So see, some of these things go together. So I and that releases some mercury into the system, into your body's system. So I did have them replaced, and make sure you get a good holistic dentist that does it, though, so you don't get into more problems. And anyhow, and I did a detox with that, and there's a lot more. I did that quite many years ago, and it was fairly new at the time, but there is lots of options out there now. So that was other chemicals. So there's no point in cleaning up some of your life if you don't clean up all of it. So I had to go through and clean up the stuff that I had in my house. And I had a lot of things in my house that are, when you go and look at what the ingredients are not healthy for us. And if I was using them in the workplace, I would be using personal protective equipment. But at home, yeah, housewives, moms don't tend to do that. They just get them out, clean, whatever. So that was another thing I had to do. And I have found out that a lot of the things I was putting on my skin also had things in it. Now, they say that they're okay for you. However, I would say that the accumulative effect is not good for you. So if you're, every day that you're putting it on, if your body isn't detoxing naturally, properly, which it doesn't if you're under stress and all the, or you've accumulated a lot in your system, yeah, that could be a contributor. So you might want to look at those kind of things. Aspartame, even your food stuff, aspartame is a huge trigger for migraines and headaches for me. What else? Poor sleep. And I would say that definitely was one of the things that made me feel worse. And I know that people with fibromyalgia, not just me, I think you also have a problem with sleep. Getting to sleep, staying asleep. Some of it's related to pain, obviously. You can't get comfortable, you move this way, you move that way, and it's difficult to get to sleep and stay asleep. And having a routine, your brain loves routine. So having a routine every night, so that every night you do the same thing. So your body goes, oh, I know she's thinking about going to sleep. And then it'll help. Now, the biggest thing that helped me when I was so tight and so stressed that when I went to sleep, my muscles were all tense. So you can't sleep when you're like that. And plus my brain was going 100 miles an hour about all the things that I didn't do, had to do, need to do. And so one of the things, you can find this on the internet, is progressive relaxation meditation. And I played that every night until my body actually got used to it. And I got so that as soon as I laid down, my body knew to go through each part and it just would relax. So that's one of my suggestions for you for sleep. And if you need other things, I mean, certainly essential oils are awesome for helping with sleep, and essential oils are awesome for stress, helping to lower your stress in your brain and stop that craziness going on in your brain when you're stressed. So those are some of the things that make it worse and how you can manage them. And hopefully those were helpful for you. And if you need some help, I do have a program. It's called the 4M program, and it is the different areas to help you to manage those areas so that you, number one, reduce your stress. Number two, get some of those chemicals out of your body. And number three, to have some good sleep. So if you aren't already subscribing to my channel, please do so. I appreciate it. If this was helpful, please put a comment in below. Thank you. Have an awesome day.